Right. Praise the Lord. I received the Spirit and was baptized when I was 8 years old. I've had a lot of healing when I was a kid. Um, my kidneys weren't very good, so the Lord really blessed that situation. I ended up having surgery, much like what Freya had to go through as well. And we both came out on the other side of that, so that's a huge blessing. I'm just trying to think. Okay, so yesterday I got a call from my dog Bear's oncologist, and we had to, so it's confirmed he has cancer, but we had to see what type of cancer it was because he had to get like a certain type of chemo and a certain type of vaccine and an immunotherapy. Um, and so, but the thing is, from what she was saying, is that his cancer, we caught it extremely early. And so the fact that um, it wasn't in the lymph nodes when they took the leg, that's a huge blessing because it didn't spread elsewhere. Like, and we found out because it was one of three cancers, and we were hoping it wasn't two of them. We were hoping it was the osteosarcoma at this point because if it was one of the other two, it means that the cancer would have metastasized from outside of his leg and latched onto the bone in his leg. So it means that the cancer is somewhere else in his body doing that to his bones. Um, and so we found out that it's not that type of cancer or those type of cancers at all, and that it originated in the bone and it wasn't in the lymph nodes, which is a huge blessing. And with the chemotherapy, which he's responding really well to, like he's eating and he's just a happy boy and he's getting around really well. They said that with everything, he could live like his natural life as a Saint Bernard, hopefully. So we're praying about that, which is actually like the best news that we could have gotten. So that's a huge blessing. And Josh is taking him for this woman, was recommended to us by our surgeon, her Bear's oncologist, and she's like the best oncologist vet in the country, one of them, and she's doing amazing like clinical trials. And she's like, I've got a clinical trial that we're doing. It's a vaccine for osteosarcoma, which is the type of cancer that Bear has. And I've got a clinical trial that's going on. It's in like phase 3. It's been going on for a few years and it's been extremely successful. And since it's still in clinical trial phase, it's only going to cost you $100 to get it and to put him on the clinical trial. And that was like a huge blessing because it's been pretty expensive, especially the surgery. Holy moly. Another just quick testimony is that school, I'm almost done. This is my last, like, I finished like my official lectures today. So now it's just finals. I have a really big presentation on Friday. It's a huge scientific report that me and this other group member have been working on. Um, and I really can praise the Lord because God's gotten me through so much. Like, there's just been a lot happening. I don't think you guys know everything that's happened, but we had a pretty big scare at Freya's daycare. I don't know if you guys were informed by that. Um, I think I can talk about it now. I didn't want to talk about it, but we had a pretty big scare at Freya's daycare where her manager at her daycare and our manager's nephew or the manager's nephew were fired. We got a message from the actual like CEO of the daycare saying sexual misconduct with minors at the daycare. And when I read that, I immediately like it was like what midnight, and we got the email. I got the email at midnight and I like ran into Josh. I'm like, Josh, like we need to like do something. This is really bad. Like I just got this email, like something's happened, like something could have happened to Freya. This is really, really bad. Like, I called dad as well. I called dad and I was like bawling. I'm like, my baby, my baby. um, and it just and then there's like this big case report on that. The next day when we went into the daycare, all the parents were there and they were like, what's going on, why is this, what's happened exactly, and they're like, we can't give you any information. And so we've been really praying about it. But a couple weeks ago, I went into the daycare. I'm like, okay, like you need to be straight with me. Like, was my daughter in jeopardy with what happened, essentially? And the teacher actually came up from Freya's room. She walked up to me and she's like, don't worry, nothing happened to her. I can tell you that with confidence that she was like around other teachers 24/7, that we would not have let something like that happen. It was more with the older kids, which is a shame just in itself. And makes me really mad and really angry. Um, but that she is okay. So that's a huge blessing. And so going through all this stuff during school, like the Lord's just really gotten me through it. I have A's in all my classes, praise the Lord. My tests have come out great. And um, yeah, and I've actually got this really cool research opportunity with one of my professors. And I'm just really excited. So just wanted to praise the Lord that He's always like keeping an eye out. So